Good afternoon. Welcome to our procession and enshrinement of sacred images of Queen of Apostle Paris. Thank you for joining us in prayer and meditation on Saint Lorenzo Ruiz, the Black Nazarene, the Holy Face of Jesus, and Our Lady of Penafrancia. There are several adaptations to your prayers. Together in church during this period when the coronavirus is active in our region. Please keep your mask in place over your nose and mouth throughout the entire time you are in church. Unfortunately, for safety, we must request that no one in the congregation sing with the cantor, even for the parts that normally everyone would sing together. If you need to leave your pew, the main aisle should only be used to walk toward the altar, and the side aisles should only be used to walk away from the altar. There may be a little time after the end of the procession before our Mass begins at 5 p.m. as scheduled. If you are leaving your pew for a moment but will return for the Mass, please leave your prayer booklet at your seat so that an usher does not unknowingly place another person in your spot who is arriving for the parish Mass. Let us now welcome our pastor, Monsignor Jim Kasurowski, and begin our prayer together.
Good afternoon. Presenting Saint Lorenzo Ruiz de Manila, the first Filipino saint of the Philippines. He was born in Binondo, Manila on November 28, 1594, to a Chinese father and a Filipino mother, both Catholics. His father taught him in Chinese, while his mother taught him Tagalog. Lorenzo served as an altar boy at the Binondo Church. Educated by the Dominican friars, he earned the title of Escribano because of his skillful penmanship. He became a member of the confraternity of the Most Holy Rosary. He married Rosario and had 2 sons and a daughter. The Ruiz family led a peaceful, religious, and content life. In 1636, while working as a clerk for the Binondo Church, Lorenzo was falsely accused of killing a Spaniard. He sought asylum on board a ship with 3 Dominican priests, a Japanese priest, and a lay leper. They sailed for Okinawa on June 10, 1636, with the aid of Dominican fathers. The Tokugawa shogunate was persecuting Christians at the time of their arrival. After 2 days of extremely painful torture, he died September 29, 1637, at age 42 in Nagasaki, Hison, Japan. Despite his suffering, Lorenzo refused to renounce Christianity and died from eventual blood loss and suffocation. According to the Latin missionary account sent back to Manila, he declared these words upon his death: "I am a Catholic and wholeheartedly to accept death for God. Had I 1,000 lives, all this to him shall I offer." He became his country's proto-martyr after his execution. His body was cremated and his ashes thrown in the sea. His attributes are the rosary in clasped hands, gallows, pit, Tagalog or camisa de chino, and black trousers, cross, palm of martyrdom, patronage, the Philippines, Filipinos, overseas Filipino workers and immigrant workers, the poor, separated families, Filipino youth, Chinese Filipinos, Filipino altar servers, Tagalogs, and Archdiocese of Manila. He is venerated in Catholic churches, beatified February 18, 1981 in Manila, Philippines by Pope John Paul II. He was canonized October 18, 1987 in Vatican City by Pope John Paul II. His major shrine is in Binondo Church, Binondo, Manila, Philippines. His feast day is September 28. On September 28, 2017, the Catholic Church celebrated the 30th anniversary of his canonization in the Archdiocese of Manila. Please rise.
Tunay nagsasaya, isang sugo sa langit. Tayo ay mayroon na. Salamat sa may kapal, sa banal na biyaya. Tinanggal ng daigdig, kayo mangkin, dakila. Purihin ka, Lorenzo, at iyong mga kasama. Alagaan ng may kapal sa gisag ng pag-asa, sa rosaryo ng Pilipinas. Kami iyong kasama, iyo ang aming puso, Lorenzo de Manila. Iyo ang aming puso, Lorenzo de Manila.
Presenting the Black Nazarene. The image derivation, Nazarene is a title of Christ identifying him as a native of Nazareth in Galilee. His attributes: dark skin, maroon and gold vestments. The Black Nazarene is called in Spanish El Nazareno Negro, Nuestro Padre Jesus Nazareno, in Filipino, Poong Itim na Nazareno. It is a life-size image of a dark-skinned, kneeling Jesus Christ carrying the cross. Is enshrined in the minor basilica of the Black Nazarene in Quiapo, Manila, Philippines. It was carved by an unknown Mexican from dark wood in the 16th century in Mexico, then transported to the Philippines by a galleon from Acapulco, Mexico, on May 31, 1606. The widespread belief is that it was charred by fire in the galleon that brought it from Mexico. It depicts Jesus en route to his crucifixion. Pope Innocent X granted recognition to the lay confraternity of Santo Cristo, Jesus Nazareno in 1650 for the promotion of the devotion of Jesus through the icon. The Augustinian Recollects donated a copy of the image. It arrived at the Quiapo Church in January 9, 1787, from its original home in San Nicolas de Tolentino Church in Intramuros, and has been enshrined ever since. It is renowned in the Philippines and is considered miraculous. The image is brought out of its shrine in procession 3 times a year: January 9, the feast of the Black Nazarene, Good Friday, and December 31, New Year's Eve, the start of the 9-day novena. The January 9 procession reenacts the image translation, literally transfer in 1787, or solemn transfer to the basilica from its original shrine in Intramuros. The January 9 translation is the largest procession, drawing millions of devotees thronging to touch the image and lasting 22 hours the most. The Black Nazarene is venerated by Filipino devotees every Friday, along with the Santo Niño, Child Jesus. It is the most popular object of devotion in the Philippines.
Nuestro Padre Jesús Nazareno, sinasamba ka namin, inipindo ka namin, alam mo sa amin, buhay at kaligtasan. Nuestro Padre Jesús Nazareno, iligtas mo kami sa kasalanan. Ang krus mo pinamatayan ay sagisag ng aming kaligtasan. Nuestro Padre Jesus Nazareno, dinarangal ka namin. Padre nuestro Jesus Nazareno, ilumamahati ka namin. Nuestro Padre Jesus Nazareno, sinasamba ka namin. Inupindo ka namin. Aral mo sa amin buhay at kaligtasan. Nuestro Padre Jesus Nazareno, iligtas mo kami sa kasalanan. Ang krus mong kinamatayan ay sagisag ng aming kaligtasan. pagpapalikan namin.
Presenting the holy face of Jesus. Presenting the holy face of Jesus. According to tradition, Veronica came across Jesus along the Via Dolorosa on the way to Calvary. When she wiped the blood and sweat off his face with her veil, his image was imprinted in the cloth. The event is commemorated by the sixth station of the cross. The original veil of Veronica with Jesus is currently enshrined and venerated in St. Peter's Church in Rome. Devotion to the Holy Face, based on the image on Veronica's veil, started to spread among Roman Catholics in France. In 1895, Pope Pius XII approved the devotion to the Holy Face. A broad devotion to the Holy Face is based on the Shroud of Turin. Since some believe that the Holy Face image had been obtained from the burial cloth of Jesus, it is assumed to be the post-crucifixion, while the image on the veil of Veronica is pre-crucifixion. The Shroud of Turin has been publicly displayed by the Roman Catholics at least since the 16th century, but the faint image of the Holy Face on it cannot clearly be seen by the naked eye. In 1898, an amateur photographer, Secondo Pio, received the king's approval to attempt the first photograph of the shroud for an exhibition. On May 28, 1898, Pio said he was shocked to see the image of the shroud for the first time ever that could not have been clearly seen with the naked eye. From then on, the image of the Holy Face was based on the Shroud of Turin. In 1958, Pope Pius XII declared the Feast of the Holy Face of Jesus as Shrove Tuesday, the Tuesday before Ash Wednesday. And in the town of Osla de la Vega, Spain, there lived a very religious couple who had a picture of the Holy Face, Divino Rostro. To the amazement of many who bear witness of its veracity, the miraculous image of our Lord began to sweat blood. In the 1980s, cholera broke out in Spain. Many of its towns suffered from the dreadful disease and many died. attributed to the special devotion of the people of the Divino Rostro, Osla de la Vega did not witness the death of even one of its inhabitants. The devotion of the Divino Rostro Holy Face in Naga, Philippines, started when Father Pedro de la Torre, the recently Vicar General of Nueva Cáceres, came to Naga. He brought with him the picture of the Divino Rostro, a replica of the one in Osla de la Vega, Spain. The picture was exposed to the inhabitants of Naga, and after years it became very popular. In 1882, a cholera epidemic broke out in Manila, where many died. It reached Naga, where many died too. The Bishop Monsignor Casimiro Herrera had the image of Our Lady of Penafrancia brought to the Cathedral Church, imploring her natural and maternal protection for the townspeople from the dreadful disease. Father Pedro de la Torre remembered a similar catastrophe in Osla de la Vega, and the miraculous intervention of the Divino Rostro, he made the miracle known to the people in Naga. The replica was brought to the Cathedral Church for special prayer and devotion. For the first time, the two images, Our Lady of Penafrancia and Divino Rostro, were together. Father Herrera and his priests made a promise: should the dreadful disease spare Naga, the Divino Rostro will be pompously venerated with special festivities together with the Virgin of Penafrancia. There were many people who died on that day, while on the second day, only 2 died. On the third day, the dreadful disease disappeared. In Naga City, the picture of the Divino Rostro is always with the statue of Our Lady of Penafrancia and her shrine, the Penafrancia Basilica, during the Traslación, the fluvial procession, and wherever Ina is. In the same way, in Chicago, the Holy Face of Jesus is always with his mother, Our Lady of Penafrancia.
Oh, sacred head, surrounded by crown of piercing thorn. Oh, bleeding head, so wounded, reviled and put to scorn. Our sins have marred the glory of your most holy face. Yet angel host adore you and tremble as they gaze. In this your bitter passion, good shepherd, think of me. With your most kind compassion, unworthy though I be, beneath your cross abiding forever. our salvation. Good Shepherd, think of me.
Presenting Our Lady of Penafrancia. Simon of Paris, France, after disposing of the wealth he inherited from his religious, well-to-do parents, became a chamber boy in a convent of a Franciscan church, where he spent hours praying. While in deep meditation, he lost consciousness. He heard a voice saying, "Simon, wake up. From now on, your name will be Simon Vela. Go to the Penafrancia, west of the country, and there you will find the shrine of the Blessed Virgin Mary." Simon started searching, but for 5 years traveling, he couldn't find the place. There were times when he became discouraged, but he heard the same voice telling him not to give up. One day, after a long search, he saw on top of a hill light filling the place with brilliance. When he reached the place, he saw the Virgin Mary holding her son in her arms. She told him, "Simon, rejoice. Your dream will be realized. Dig on the spot and take what you can see and place it on the summit of this rocky hill. Build on this hill a beautiful dwelling. You are to begin it, and others will come to finish it. It has been the wish of my child." Then the lady disappeared. Simon began digging and excavating when he heard the same voice. "Simon, do not attempt to undertake that big task alone. Undertake it in the presence and with the help of 2, 3, or more persons." On May 19, 1434, Simon and 5 men found embedded among the rocks the most coveted image of the Holy Virgin Mary with her son in her arms. In 1712, a Spanish colonial official from Penafrancia settled with his family in Cavite, Philippines. His son Miguel Robles Covarrubias, a seminarian in Universidad de Santo Tomas in Manila, became seriously ill. He and his family prayed to Our Lady of Penafrancia, whose picture he clutched to his breast. Miguel vowed that if cured, he would construct a chapel on the bank of Pasig River. He was miraculously cured and was ordained a priest in Ciudad de Nueva Cáceres, now Nagas City. To fulfill his promise, he mobilized the natives to build a chapel, not by the bank of Pasig River, but by the bank of Naga River. He ordered local artisans to carve an image after the picture of the Virgin Mary that he always carried with him. A dog was killed for its blood to be used to paint the carved image. The dead dog, which was dumped into the Naga River, came to life and began swimming to its owner. Hundreds witnessed this miracle. This and other miracles spread quickly, as did public devotion. On September 20, 1924, Pope Pius XI granted canonical coronation of the statue of Our Lady of Penafrancia. On December 3, 2015, a mosaic image of Our Lady of Penafrancia was officially enshrined at the Vatican Gardens in Rome at the pontifical mandate of Pope Francis. In Naga City, Philippines, the feast of Our Lady of Penafrancia, who is lovingly called Ina, meaning mother, is celebrated on the 3rd Sunday of September, preceded by 9 days of prayers. Millions of devotees come to honor and pay homage to Our Lady of Penafrancia, the miraculous patroness of Bicolandia. In Chicago, the image of Our Lady of Penafrancia was first enshrined at St. Rose of Lima Church. On May 24, 1987, Our Lady of Penafrancia became the first Philippine Madonna enshrined in a church in the United States with the blessings of His Eminence, Cardinal Joseph Bernardin, Archbishop of Chicago, and His Excellence, Archbishop Leonardo Legazpi, Archbishop of Nueva Cáceres in Naga City. Upon closure of St. Rose of Lima, the image of Ina was transferred to St. Joseph Church. When its pastor retired, Father Mike Alcantara, a pastor at the St. Matthias Church, invited Ina to his church. The statue of Our Lady of Penafrancia and the picture of the Holy Face were then transferred in April 1994 and remain at St. Matthias Church, with the blessings of the pastors that followed. Today, May 29, 2021, the statue of Our Lady of Penafrancia and the picture of the Holy Face are transferred to their new home, the Queen of Apostles Church, through the kind invitation of its pastor, Monsignor Jem Kaczorowski. Outside Chicago, statues of Our Lady of Penafrancia had been enshrined in the following churches: in Our Lady of the Snows in Belleville, Illinois, Black Madonna Church in Eureka, Missouri, Church of the Annunciation in Toronto, Canada, and St. Mary's Church in Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada.
Resuene vibrante el himno de amor que entona tu pueblo con grata emoción. Resuene vibrante el himno de amor que entona tu pueblo con grata emoción. Patrona del Bico, Gran Madre de Dios, sé siempre la reina de nuestra región. Patrona del Bico, Gran Madre de Dios, sé siempre la reina de nuestra región. Meski ang kasalugan, sambit ang simungaran, maski ang kabukidan, ikaan rokyaw. Kami simong aki, panoning kaugmahan, simuna ngangako, ikakamutan. Kami simong aki, panoning kaugmahan, simuna ngangako, ikakamutan. Resuene vibrante el himno de amor que entona tu pueblo con grata emoción. Resuene vibrante el himno de amor que entona tu pueblo con grata emoción. Patrona del Bico, Gran Madre de Dios, sé siempre la reina de nuestra región. Patrona del Bico, Gran Madre de Dios, sé siempre la reina de nuestra región.
¡Viva! 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 My dear friends will We're going to have Mass in about 25 minutes, 20 minutes. And during the Mass, we're going to incense all the sacred images. Okay. Okay.
Dios te salve, María, llena eres de gracia, el Señor es contigo, bendita tú eres entre todas las mujeres, y bendito es su fruto, y bendito es el fruto de tu vientre, Jesús. Santa María, Madre de Dios, ruega por nosotros, pecadores, ahora de nuestra muerte. Amén. Jesús, Dios te salve, María, eres de gracia, el Señor es contigo, bendita tú eres entre todas las mujeres, y bendito es el fruto, y bendito es el fruto tu vientre, Jesús. Bring flowers of the fairest, bring flowers of the rarest, from garden and woodland and hillside and vale. Our full hearts are swelling, our glad voices telling the praise of the loveliest rose of the field. Oh Mary, we crown thee with blossom today, Queen of apostles, Queen of the maid. Oh Mary, we crown thee with blossoms today. We are the angels, Queen of the maid. the fairest from garden and woodland and hillside and vale. Our full hearts are swelling, our glad voices telling the praise of the loveliest rose of the field. O Virgin, most tender, our homage we render, our loved one, our protection, sweet mother, do we. Defend us in sorrow, befriend us, and shield us, our hearts from contagion and sin. O Mary, we crown thee with blossoms today. Queen of apostles, Queen of the May, O Mary, we crown thee with blossoms today. Queen of the angels, Queen of the May. So let's all stand and sing Salve Regina. Salve Regina, Mater Misericordiae, vita dulcedo, et spes nostra salve. Ad te clamamus, exules filii Eve, ad te suspiramus, gementes et flentes, in hac lacrimarum valle. Ea ergo, advocata nostra, illos tuos, misericordes oculos, ad nos converte. Et iestu benedictum fructum ventris tui, nobis post hoc exilium ostende. O clemens, O pia, O dulcis Virgo Maria.
That concludes our presentation, and then we'll be waiting for the Parish Mass at 5 p.m.